Hi there and welcome. I'm Jill Nicholson and I'm so glad you found your way here. This channel is a place where we dive deep into the complexities of what it means to be human, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Together, we'll unpack the stories, the patterns, and emotions that shape our lives and explore what truly makes us tick. Why do we repeat certain behaviours? What role do our feelings play in the stories we tell ourselves? With over 25 years of experience as a therapist, I've been dedicated to peeling back the layers of human nature to better understand ourselves and each other. If you're curious about the why behind our thoughts, behaviours and emotions, and don't mind a bit of a chuckle along the way, you're in the right place. I want to have a heartfelt conversation with you about something many of us carry, trauma. It can feel overwhelming, like a heavy weight we're not sure how to put down. But here's the good news. We can break free from our past. Yes, we really can heal those trauma imprints. And I'm here to tell you that it is possible for you too. I've worked with so many clients over the years, and my biggest learning is that deep, lasting healing comes from addressing both the mind and the body together. Trauma doesn't just sit in our thoughts, it lives in our bodies too. That's why the unique approach I developed with the amazing Emma Starling from Evolved Energetics Academy, it's called the Rapid Imprint Resolution Method, works so well. But before we dive into that, let's go back to basics. So what is trauma? Trauma is the emotional, psychological, or even physical response to a deeply distressing experience. It's a kind of wounding that leaves scars on our hearts and our minds. Trauma can happen at any point in life, childhood, adulthood, and it affects everyone differently. It might leave some of us feeling anxious, fearful, or constantly on edge, while others may feel numb or disconnected. You see, trauma exists on a scale. What feels mild for one person might be deeply distressing for another. And this isn't about judgment. It's about honouring each person's unique experience. The key to understanding how trauma impacts us. For some, it might mean constantly being hypervigilant or trying to control everything because the feelings of safety are missing. For others, it leads to conclusions like, I'm broken. It's not safe to be myself. These conclusions form what I like to call wonky beliefs. Okay, that's not an actual clinical term. These beliefs we carry, like I'm not okay unless I please others, or it's not okay to have needs. The problem is that we accept these beliefs as personal truths, even though we would never hold a friend to such harsh standards. Would you ever tell a friend it's not okay to have needs? Not okay to ask for help? No, of course you wouldn't. But those scars are what we call trauma imprints. They show up as flashbacks, emotional numbness, difficulty trusting others, or even a constant sense of not being good enough. Trauma can even shape how we see ourselves and the world. If it happens in childhood, it can deeply affect how we develop our sense of identity. But healing is possible. Healing is possible. Think of it this way. Trauma imprints are like unfinished or unprocessed emotions trapped in the body. The body needs to know that the trauma is over. Otherwise, we end up having trauma loops, replaying patterns and beliefs that don't serve us anymore, the wonky ones. Maybe you've heard of the book The Body Keeps Score by Basil van der Kolk. He writes, as long as you keep secrets and suppress information, you're fundamentally at war with yourself. And isn't that true? So many of us find it hard to sit with our feelings because it seems too painful. So we suppress and deny them, but doing so keeps us stuck. Do you know, trauma can even change the brain in profound ways. It can heighten our threat perception. You can be on edge. It disrupts how we filter information. So sometimes people who have had trauma, they're really overstimulated. Excuse me, just too much, too many thoughts, seeing too much, hearing too much. And it can dull our sense of self, of who we are. It can feel like living with a faulty burglar alarm that constantly goes off, even when there's no real danger. This is why working with the whole person, mind, body, and brain is essential. One of the tools we use in emotional freedom technique, now you might know that as tapping or EFT. We use it and we combine it with therapeutic tools and to help dissolve the emotional charge connected to the traumatic memory. It doesn't erase the memory, but it allows us to think about it without being overwhelmed. Imagine being able to let go of old beliefs that no longer serve you, reconnect with your body's sensations, and build new, healthy neural pathways in your brain. They dictate our behaviour. That's the work that I and Emma do with our clients. If you're ready to break free from the past and heal those trauma imprints, it's time to take the first step. Healing is possible and you don't have to do it alone. Find the right person for you. Find the right approach and method for you. And be ready. It needs to be the right time. You're not alone and healing is possible. Thanks so much for taking the time to spend with me today. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.